to History Inside a Nutshell, the show where we sail into our port of call discussing maritime history. Today's video is going to be something completely different as we are stepping away from maritime history. This is something that has been going around as a rumour, but rather than making a debate about it, this video will concentrate on the history of the title and what would happen in the near future. And this title is called Defender of the Faith, and it is well known for monarchs to use that title, but since the succession of Charles III, should it change or should it be kept as it is? Let's find out. Defender of the Faith, should it change?
On the 10th of September 2022, St James's Palace was a witness to a special meeting which was broadcasted live for the first time. Inside the palace, the event involved a group of people known as the Accession Council, who witnessed the proclamation of a British sovereign. However, this meeting is an announcement of accession which occurs following the death of the reigning monarch. On that day, the Accession Council was divided into two parts, with one being the announcement of the death of Queen Elizabeth II, with people signing the Accession Proclamation, recognising King Charles III as the new reigning monarch. In the second part, the King attended his first Privy Council meeting before making an oath, or promise, to maintain and preserve the Church of Scotland. His Majesty the King took the oath saying,
I, Charles III, by the grace of God, of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and of my other realms and territories, King, Defender of the Faith, do faithfully promise and swear that I shall inviolably maintain and preserve the settlement of the true Protestant religion as established by the laws made in Scotland in prosecution of the claim of right, and particularly by an act intituled An Act for Securing the Protestant Religion and Presbyterian Church Government, and by the acts passed in the Parliament of both kingdoms for union of the two kingdoms, together with the government, worship, discipline, rights and privileges of the Church of Scotland. So help me God.
By making this promise, the council accept him as the new monarch, as well as the supreme governor of the Church of Scotland and England. However, the title Defender of the Faith in the oath was rumoured to have been changed following the king's succession, suggested by King Charles himself, and it was the rumour of him thinking about this was true. This fact was known for a while, but explained why using the title was outdated. His Majesty, then the Prince of Wales, gave a BBC radio interview in 2015, describing himself as Faith's Defender. No, I did not describe myself as a defender. I said I would rather be seen as a defender of faith all those years ago, because, as I tried to describe, I mind about the inclusion of other people's faiths and their freedom to worship in this country. And it's always seemed to me that while at the same time being defender of the faith, you can also be protector of faiths. It was very interesting that 20 years or more after I mentioned this, which has been frequently misinterpreted, the Queen, in her Jubilee address to the faith leaders, said that as far as the role of the Church of England is concerned, it is not to defend Anglicanism to the exclusion of other religions. Instead, the Church has a duty to protect the free practice of all faiths in this country. I think in that sense she was confirming what I was really trying to say, perhaps not very well, all those years ago. And so I think you have to see it as both. You have to come from your own Christian standpoint, in the case I have as defender of the faith, and ensure that other people's faiths cannot be practiced. Since the interview, there could be a chance that the title Defender of the Faith could be scratched either completely, or the word "the" could be taken out of the title, replacing it with Defender of Faith, to include and defend all religions instead of the Christian religion. This in turn could be a popular move, but it depends on whether the government will accept this decision or not. Only time will tell, but in the meantime, this video will concentrate on the history of the title. When doing the research for it, the history of the title Defender of the Faith is fascinating and surprising. It is clear that some of the origins were overlooked, but despite this, it has played a role in British history and with the monarchy. When we think of the title, the first person who is mentioned is the Tudor king Henry VIII. However, this isn't the case. The earliest use of the title was given to King James IV of Scotland when he was given the title Protector and Defender of the Christian Faith. It's not clear why he was given the title by Pope Julius II in 1507, but given one of his strongest interests was law, how he made peace treaties with other countries, how he participated in the Holy League against France, and how he wanted to go on a pilgrimage to Jerusalem, it's clear that James was devoted to the Catholic faith. It is also clear that these possibilities attracted the Pope's attention and created it in honour of monarchs who have done things to protect the Catholic religion. James had a lavish ceremony at Holyrood Abbey to confirm him as protector and defender of the Christian faith. But James didn't get to enjoy his title for long. He was killed at the Battle of Flodden in 1513. The next monarch to be given the title was Henry VIII. Unlike James IV, it was recorded that Henry VIII was given the title after he had published a book called The Defender of the Seven Sacraments. The book Henry wrote was about protecting the Catholic papacy and the sacramental nature of marriage, explaining why it is a lasting commitment to lifelong partnerships. This book was an attack on the Protestant Reformation and to ideas of leaders like Martin Luther. Interestingly, Pope Leo X bestowed the title, now called Defender of the Faith, to Henry in recognition of his views on both topics and naming and shaming Luther for destroying the traditional practices of the Roman Catholic Church. Henry was devoted to the Catholic Church from an early age, and if he wasn't king, he would have had a career in the Roman Catholic Church. Henry's first wife, Catherine of Aragon, was also given the title for her involvement in the book, which was dedicated to her by a Spanish confessor. This book was known as the Of Indulgences Adversus Luther, which heavily focused on anti-Lutheran ideas. Catherine is the only queen consort in British history to be given this title. The title was revoked from Henry in 1530 when he broke from Rome to divorce Catherine and marry his mistress, Anne Boleyn. He then declared himself Supreme Governor of the Church of England. However, the British Parliament decided to use the title again in 1543 for Henry and future monarchs. From 1543 onwards, monarchs in England would be defenders of the Anglican faith and remain supreme governors. When Charles I was beheaded in 1649, the title Defender of the Faith was removed by the Republican heads of state. It was introduced again following the Restoration and the accession of Charles II, where it is still used today. Over time, the title appeared on British coins. It started during the reign of King George I. It is not known if it would appear on coins following King Charles's accession to the British throne. However, in past coins, there were abbreviations or letters FD or FID or DEF, which meant the original Latin phrase Fide Defensa. Interestingly, other countries had either adapted their versions of this title or who held the title, especially within the Commonwealth. These include Haiti, Canada, Poland, and Ethiopia. Today, the title is untouchable, and for years it has become unquestionable to change it. However, with the inclusion of other religions being practiced and recognised in the UK, it has become the main topic for two reasons. One, that religion is a choice rather than legitimate authority, or you have to attend Christian service by law. And two, beliefs in Christianity are fading because of its bad reputation, which is damaging the Roman Catholic Church and the Church of England. According to the Office for National Statistics, as of January 2022, the number of people who consider themselves Christians dropped to 51%. This means that compared to 2011, this is the lowest rate in England and Wales. However, there has been a slight rise in younger generations attending Christian services following the COVID-19 pandemic. What does this mean for the future of the title Defender of the Faith? The answer is, we don't know. Only time will tell before anything's changed. If King Charles gets permission from the British government to change the title during his reign, this will be a popular move. If it isn't possible, then it's likely that the Prince of Wales and his heirs would ask permission for the change in the future. What do you think about the change of the title? Please share your thoughts in the comments.
A special thank you goes to Mark Simpson Wedge for narrating this week's video. On his channel, Mark focuses on comedy sketches, autism-related content, and challenges. If you are into comedy, YouTube challenges, or content focusing on autistic acceptance, please head over to Mark's channel and subscribe for future videos. If you enjoyed this week's episode, please subscribe for more historical content. Until next time, this has been History Inside a Nutshell, departing from the dogs. Thank you so much for all of your support and enjoy the rest of your voyage.